Now that I'm less huge, I'm still huge. I'm just less huge.
How much weight have you lost?
Chris, you told me you look skinny too.
56 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta see this.
What, me?
You can see the face, yeah.
Turn sideways.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. What's funny though is like, Chris, you know, with activity wise, I'm seeing a lot more people coming to market right now. And I think that there is a little natural, they don't say it, but they're a little bit uncertain about what, you know, just like every election year, what's going to happen. Should I hurry up and sell while prices are high? Because prices might crash. You know, our interest rates are going to go through the roof. And so I think what people are doing is they're finally saying, hey, if we want to move, there is a window. The window's open. Do we want to get out or not? And I think you're starting to see some people that are saying, you know, I'm ready. I mean, if you're 75 years old, you're not getting any younger. And, you know, dad loved to be 80. Well, you got 5 good years. Let's roll. So get you to the lake, get you fishing every day. What are you waiting for? I mean, for 30 grand, you're going to sacrifice the rest of your life. You know, it's like, so I'm seeing some of my older clients saying, yep, we're on our way to the vacation properties or the rental places. I'm seeing younger families wanting to move a little farther out with high-speed internet access everywhere. And I'm also seeing, and it's not as much as it used to be, but I'm seeing people upgrading where they're going up to that, what I'd considered, at least in the North Metro, the luxury market, and they're selling their mid-range homes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing.
I'll tell you, yeah, it's an interesting market from like what we're listing. About half of them sell right away, and then the other half don't. And you just kind of keep going. And whether or not that's price or a market segment, it just kind of really varies. It varies when you put it on and take it off. We're talking right now about this weekend. Any holiday weekend, such as a Mother's Day, a Memorial Day, and now a Father's Day, and weather. You got to kind of take all that stuff into account if you're going to go on, if you're going to go live. But we had an interesting thing where these out-of-towners are coming in. They want to be 350 to 400. Mm-hmm. And so I'm showing them luxury homes up in Champlin. And just kidding. I should make fun of that. I actually really like that area, but I just live far away from it. But anyways, we started out 16 homes that they wanted to see. And then it became 8. And the day we actually went and showed, which was yesterday, 4 houses were available. So of those 16, I mean, so it's still moving. You know, it says showing activity has declined by 10%. I mean, 10% is quite a bit. That's from year over year. The luxury homes have increased. Now, when you say plus 20%, that's not like, I mean, it's not like a landslide. You don't get a lot of showings in that. But you got to remember, if you even go from, 3 showings to 4 showings, that's 25%. So I don't know.
Well, the numbers.
Well, yeah, it says it's listed 3.5% of all showings were over $1 million.
Well, and if you look at the numbers below us here, there's a lot of dead bodies. I mean, there are, like you said, there are properties that are listing that are great properties that were at last year's prices, and people are saying, nah, we're good. That house should have really sold for $385. You've got it listed at $425, and we're just going to wait until it's priced right because we're not going to overpay in today's market. I'm seeing that happening where people are rejecting the last year and a half of appreciation straight up. They're just like, yeah, that appreciation we had was based strictly on demand, and those were incidences where it was artificial, and you could argue that since COVID, that a lot of the appreciation has been supply and demand struggles versus actual organic appreciation based on incomes going up and available money to spend on a mortgage. So it's when you feel weird about today's market, rightfully so. I mean, your job isn't keeping up with the prices of houses, and houses aren't going to necessarily come down because the inflationary market we're in. So if you want to get in the game, like I just did a video with Nick the other day where I sent it to him where I talked about this, and I said, hey, in that luxury market, you better jump in because it's not soft. If you've been searching for a home that's on the high end of our market but haven't found the right one, I want to share something with you. As this graph shows, the inventory for single-family luxury homes is on the rise. Compared to this time last year, there are more of them on the market, which should give you a wider variety of top-of-the-line homes to choose from. On top of that, luxury homes are going up. That means moving now could be your sweet spot. And if you wait, buying that luxury home later may cost you more. Want to see the high-end luxury homes in our market today? Connect with me. I'm Andy P, helping you on your real estate journey. Hey, like our videos, I'll like you back. Follow our page, I'll love you. And boy, if you made comments, you'd be the best.
All I know is I'm going to start taking credit for all of these videos pretty soon, very soon.
I would.
Because I've been saying you got to use your personality, and that's Andy P. That's who you are. I think it's great.
You know what? It came out accidentally when we started shooting some videos a while back, and then it just started calling me Andy P. And I'm like, it's kind of funny. So people that don't know me will, oh, that's that Andy P guy. And I thought it was kind of, maybe it's stupid. I don't know.
Market's still good. You got a good house.
Yeah.
You'll get it sold. So.
Well, and that's showing condition is very important right now too. I think a lot of people got super freaking lazy, man, where they're like bringing houses to the market that are garbage. They're dirty. There's dog hair in the corner of the room. There's, mildew on the windows. The seals on the window are broke. I've showed a couple houses recently where I'm like, oh my God, I would have, if this was my client, I would have pointed it out, because everybody that walks through this house is going to say, problem. Okay, let's discount 20,000. Yeah. And you could have fixed all that stuff for about $3,000. I mean, you're going to pay. It's just like these guaranteed offers. You're going to pay. You see how hard I'm biting my lip right now, Chris?
Don't bite it. You'll bleed.
Yeah. Like I say, a little Minnesota luxury real estate. I found this one very interesting. I think, Andy, you'll have a better idea. Up in Whitefish, the lake up there, priced very good. Let me pop it up here. But first, we have the segment brought to you by Mr. Chris Rooney, Home Experts.
Wonderful 5-bedroom 2-story on absolute sanctuary of a lot. Long winding driveway to this hilltop setting with 1.96 acres of manicured grounds for any activity. Chicken coop, to gardens, to sport court, to relaxing on the large deck, and an amazing porch. Fantastic all brick front walkout home. Soaring ceilings with wonderful windows, and renovated dream kitchen, providing the ultimate in entertaining. Main floor bedroom is an added bonus, in addition to the office off the front foyer. Large owner's bedroom with built-in cabinetry and vaulted ceiling. Jetted tub, walk-in shower, and large closet. 2 more large bedrooms share a full bath, completing the upper level. The lower level is an entertainment oasis, complete with a family room warmed by a second fireplace, a fully equipped bar, a 5th bedroom currently dedicated to an exercise space, storage, and 3/4 bath with steam shower. This home isn't just a residence, it's a slice of paradise for those who covet luxury and serenity at a great price.
What's really interesting about that, you see the tale of 2 videos there. I mean, Mr. Excitement down there, and that one was just really, I need that music a little higher.
That's that 50 Shades of Grey reading you said you used to do for the.
You need some 50 Cent or something going.
It was
Find me in
sexy.
the club.
It was sexy. One love better. That one sold, by the way. First weekend sold. Boom.
Yeah, that's a nice house. I absolutely loved that first shot where the wraparound deck and that screen porch in the back, the refrigerator right there, the easy grab our beverage and run out to the old porch. I loved it. That was a nice house.
This one looks like
Cross Lake, and the reason I picked it, doesn't have too much land on it. Obviously, 8,000 square feet is a lot, but that price in Cross Lake, I mean, it seems crazy. I want to know what's going on here.
well, there's obviously it's a main home and a secondary home, and I think is it on an acre? I mean, an acre on a lake is a lot. So, in the Whitefish, the chain of lakes is well, you can see too. It's got the long view too of the lake, so that's important. I mean, you got level lakefront. Look at that. I mean, that's hard to. That's what it's about right there. That actually, right where you kind of pulled that in, Nick, I think that's what I would have done. And maybe just had a little something extra on the beach. But that's a great view. When you get level lakefront like that, that's a very good thing.
Look at that guest house, the old boathouse. They turned into basically where I'd live.
Super fun. Yeah, it's got like a little guest place on top. But okay, so that must be the main house. There's the guest house right at the water.
God, that would be awesome right there.
Oh God, it's got.
I could be fine with just that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Wow.
they got the beach all graded up. I suppose they bought one of those little Toro sand rakes. You know, they at golf courses they have those. Then they can drive them back and forth and make everything look perfect, like you're at a resort.
The accordion doors opens all the way up.
Pretty sweet.
Fun.
Should we just go through these photos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to get inside the main house to really find the
Oh,
values.
there you go. Cool garage doors. Love it.
American flag. Nice.
Jeez. Well, it's 8,000 square feet. It's got to be huge.
It's big and open. Interesting island situation there.
Yeah.
Looks
There's
like an
the
LVP.
open shelf uppers.
Looks like an LVP there.
Yeah.
I mean, which is good for sand and lake.
Well, think about when you're up at the lake. I mean, a lot of times this area is going to be used for, hey, we just grilled a bunch of whatever, and there's salads on the counter or whatever. He's coming and grabbing a plate, and they're going back outside.
Yeah.
So, I like it. You get into that 4.5 million though, and your audience is pretty small, and so for me, like you look at that many square feet, and there's a lack of furniture. So obviously they've already moved out. So there's a little motivation on their part, but
Or it's probably a second home too. And I think the other thing that you got to realize when it comes to marketing these types of homes is that you got to get it good enough to be able to kind of push the right person that's really going to redo it their way. People that are paying that kind of money most likely are going to redo it their way. And so it's got to have like that boathouse that you can't do anymore, that you can't get that close. And you know what a great thing for guests. Or this looks like I didn't see the size and stuff like that, but what about a corporate retreat area? So this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I would rather have
I was just going to say the same thing. I was going to say this is, to me, is very unattractive.
yeah, I would have it empty versus doing that.
Yeah, it's not a warehouse, so let's not make it look like one.
Or maybe Andy, that's with me and you and all our friends. We could sit there on that couch.
Yeah, you could have your favorite 200 friends over, and everybody has a space to stand.
Yeah. So I think it is kind of that's an important factor. You got to know. Yeah, I would have it totally empty. But that's the guest house right there. Is that a garage? The garage, those doors.
Garage door, yeah, the screen comes
It's on
down.
the bottom. Yeah, so it's a total up and down party room, more than
Yeah,
storing your boat.
That's fantastic right there.
That's fun.
So, Nick, you were in favor of the price, or you were against the price?
No, I was shocked that this.
Shocked good, shocked bad.
I didn't think it would be worth that. I didn't go through the photos yet. I'm like, okay, it's only an acre. I didn't think that was that much, even on a random lake in the north of Minnesota. But
That's not no random lake.
no,
That's like the lake that you want to be on. It rivals, not quite, but like a Minnetonka, because it's not too far out, but it's a big lake and it's connected to a bunch of other ones. So recreation, fishing, lots of entertainment on that lake.
I would agree with you, Chris. I think that I was glad that Nick said that, because to me, now if this was 1.9 million, I'd be like, wow, what a steal. 5, pushing 5, I don't think they're there, but that's okay. Hey, they're just trying to see what they can get away with. I don't criticize these because I'm trying to say they can't get it, because if somebody's willing to pay it, that obviously is going to happen. I just do math, right? So I'm the kind of guy that breaks it down more logically. Like, okay, let's even say the lot's worth $850,000, $1 million. Can you build that house for $1 million? Yep. Can you build that the boathouse for $1 million? You can't build it, but is it worth 400, 500. Yep. So now I'm up to 3. I don't know where we're getting 4.6, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how my brain works.
It's all about the location and the lot. You gotta, I mean, it's like, I can't get this, and if I'm gonna get it, well, I gotta pay this to be able to have it. So it's got to be someone.
I think it's a great property. I just don't know if we're going to be at 5, but
yeah. See, it's got the long view of the lake too.
oh sure. That's right across the street from my buddy's house. I got my neighbor here lives on Big Trout, and I got another one over on Cross. It's a great chain, but I mean, it is 40 minutes north of Brainerd. You know, so when you go there, you want to stay put. It's not like if you're down around Gull Lake, you can run down to Costco and pick up 14 steaks for your buddies, and it's easy. Up there, you got to think about what you're doing. That's why Gull Lake, if you look at the water, is not as pretty as like Whitefish, like the clarity and the whatever, but it's popular because it has 9 bars and it's close to everything.
It's a big thing.
Are people like living on that lake, or is it just the summer home? Because I don't hear about any like good high schools up there. Schools.
Pequot's good. I mean, our buddy Mark Pedig has kids going through those schools, and they were volleyball champions last year.
I've been out of Minnesota for too long. I've never heard of any of these cities up here. I've heard of Breezy Point.
Yeah, Breezy Point. That's where our buddy Mark Pedig, the Pedig Properties with Advantage Plus, they have an office. By the way, Chris, did you notice Mark built the mini golf course right next to his office?
I saw that.
Yeah. We should actually go up there and do a show live from his mini golf course. So he had an office, Nick, right there by Pequot, right by Breezy Point. And beautiful, really cool area. We resorted up there last year.
It's kind of a barn dominium, wasn't it?
That's another property that he has down closer to town, on the other side of like Gull. But on that particular spot, they have this cute little building. It's their office, and then right across the parking lot, they bought like 2 acres and cut this golf course through the woods, and pretty sweet. I guarantee we'll eventually do something with it, promote it, help them.
Hi guys. So what are you pricing that last home at if you were listing it?
I'd have to know that area better. I mean, my initial opinion is that's very high, but depending on how everything sits, and I didn't get the feel of it. And I mean, we're seeing it on Andy's favorite site, so that's not good. But sometimes you don't get all of the information that you need, and you have to get that out there.
That's the go-to website.
It's all about area. We got to know that.
That's where all the best information is, Chris. Duh.
I see that, and it's not necessarily that maybe they didn't put all that information in, but it's whether or not Zillow syndicates it into their algorithm. So, was there writing on that, Nick? I just want to see. Yeah.
Pop it up. I'm gonna pop it up right now. All right.
I think it's important, because like on MLS. Okay, there we go. See, Lower Whitefish. Okay, it doesn't really go crazy about the area.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I have stuck in my head is where Hecker had his place up there, remember? And he had his compound with like 7 cabins of equal or nicer. They all recently just sold for $2 million a piece. That property couldn't sell for $5.6 million as a connection of all properties. It wouldn't sell, couldn't sell. Different time. Yeah. And then now those properties, they broke them apart and they went boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Sold right up.
Yep. Yep. That's how you look at it. I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, you get to that point where you start getting that $5 million price range. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying it. You all know this. There's a limited window of people that can hit that. Your athletes, your executives, and your lottery winners.
And companies.
Or corporation, true. Mm-hmm. Retreat, you're right.
Despite the headlines, home prices aren't falling. I got a little graphic here. But first, that's going to be brought to you by Andy Prasky, Preferred Home Team.
Hey, did you know the month of June is one of the busiest months in the housing market? If you're looking to buy or sell, you want to be ready for that. Let me give you a little inside scoop on what to expect. A lot of times people with children try to move between the school years, and guess what? That's the window that we're in right now. So buyers and sellers are going to enter the marketplace. They're going to be motivated to make their moves happen fast, especially before the school year starts. So if you're looking to buy, that means two things: more options, more competition. If you're looking to sell, you can see multiple offers if your house is priced right and shows well. It's an exciting time to make your move, and I want to work with you. So if you're ready to go, I'm Andy P, ready to help you on your real estate journey today. Hey, like our videos, I'll like you back. Follow our page, I'll love you. And boy, if you made comments, you'd be the best.
It's that time of year in the market to try to buy a house. Oh, that was my video. Sorry.
Hello, I am a very excited agent ready to help you.
I just want them to sell. But anyways, yes, that is true.
Hey, Chris, if nobody's ever met you, nothing wrong with sounding professional. I just don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sound like what is that, James Earl Jones or whatever. All right, here we go.
I just need a little music, a little higher music to drown me out and kind of set that mood. Yeah.
I'd much rather sit with a ukulele and sing about the house.
Nice.
It's a 4-bedroom and a 3-bath house.
You got to get one of those.
I'll do it. I will. I'm not afraid.
That's awesome. Okay, so what are we talking about? Despite the headlines, the home prices are not falling, and it's up. What at Minnesota? 6%, 6%. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I had a listing that really, from the time I told them what I thought it would sell for, by the time we listed it, was $100,000 different.
Jeez.
Upwards. Yeah, just that market segment just hit at the right time. So it's that's why when I always go in, I always tell people, I said, I'm giving you a price today, what I know today and what that market is today, because that can change, and it can change in a week or 2 weeks. I told them that, and that was exactly what they said. They go, oh my God, you said that you would look at it at that time. I said, exactly. But I think sometimes maybe they'll get an agent in at the very end and they're like, oh my gosh, maybe we could try for higher. And you kind of lose out on it because you told them a different price. But it's like, hey, it's about what it is today. We go, I'm pricing 2 of them for this weekend, and I did the markets yesterday. Redid them and kind of understood, okay, here's what's on, here's where we need to go at. Because that's what buyers are doing. They know exactly what's on the market at that time.
What's so weird is you and I are so similar, it's scary. I fill out my listing agreements, and then I don't fill in the price, and I say, let's do an adjustment right before we list. Let's verify where we're at. Let's look at how many competitors are out there, position ourselves properly in the stack, and then go to town and market. And it sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll tell you, that last minute look, I think verifies, like, and why agents like us are doing that is because we're assuming that there's going to be movement, right? We're in a volatile market right now where I feel like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it going to whatever? And so consumers, obviously, I don't want to leave money on the table for the consumers. So that's where we actually take a look at, is there more money or price that we could, or is there a new listing that we could look good? Let's say they list 20,000 higher than we were going to list, and we come up 10 and make another 10, or something like that.
And the other part is all of a sudden stuff sells. So this Robbinsdale property I was telling you about, everything's sold. Everything's sold around it. So there's nothing out there. And so what does that automatically do? Boom, it boosts you up. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go start pricing higher, but you might push it a little. So if you're going to be, let's just say 385, you might go 389.9. And maybe it gets people excited, and all of a sudden now you're over 400.
Well, and Chris, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to be a little bit of a contrarian here for a second. The having prices going up 6% or whatever else, I am seeing a market where offers are coming in with closing costs being paid. I don't care if it's 10,000, 15,000, 3%. Builders are paying up to 6%. I mean, so all of these numbers are basically in a situation where they're being skewed because the real prices, if you tip those out, are going to be lower. And that's not on every price point, but that's on a lot of them that are being financed right now. They're not afraid to come in and ask for home inspections. They're not afraid to hand you the dirty laundry list and say, hey, I want all this stuff fixed. They're not afraid to ask you for concessions towards their buy downs. So I'm seeing quite a bit of that happening right now in the marketplace as well. And
I agree.
So maybe
I think most all of them,
policy, maybe it's 2%.
Most every offer has got an inspection. tied to it. We're starting to see contingent offers, which are not bad as long as the backup house is going to be realistic in what they want to do. We had one lately that came in, and they wanted 30 days to be able to get their house on the market, and we just had listed it. I was like, that just doesn't make sense. You know, you got to kind of prepare a little more, or look at bridge loans. I found a bank, actually Granite Bank and Mortgage. They're doing bridge loans basically for free, just so as long as they get the end loan, and which is really interesting. They're just they're securing. There's some little cost, but there's no origination or anything like that. So it's a real easy way in which to be able to do it. For people that don't know, a bridge loan is basically kind of held against the equity of your home that you're selling. And you got to be able to be qualified and all that kind of stuff to be able to do it. But it's a great way in which to be able to kind of get into something and be non-contingent type buyer. So.
Right. I mean, really, it's. I think the word bridge, think of it as being short term. It's kind of like they know what you're doing with the money. You're putting that money, you're taking money out of your existing house to put down on the future purchase, and they know that you're going to sell this house. Mm-hmm. So it's bridging the gap, right? It's carrying that. Not to oversimplify it, but I think that's a lot of people will say, well, why don't I just get an equity line? Because a lot of our new construction loans, they'll go pull an equity line against their house because it's cheaper, it's no cost. And a lot of times bridge loans are more expensive. So a resource like you just referenced might be really appreciated by a lot of their listeners here.
Yep, absolutely. And sometimes the difference between an equity line and a bridge loan is sometimes you got to have a lot of equity. Sometimes bridge loans are based more off of, what your house is most likely going to sell for. Mm-hmm. So it's you can be a little more flexible with a bridge loan if you need to be.
Yeah, good point.